All right, 1101, here we are at week 6. What is due by the end of the week? Sunday, the 22nd, is your third essay due. Argumentative, persuasive, that should have no outside research, okay? You are arguing, you are supporting your thesis based on your own intuitions, your own sense of general knowledge. All the while avoiding using first person pronouns. Okay, I want to make that clear at the outset. We are getting rid of I, me, I think, in my opinion, in my opinion, in my opinion, me, my. No. Okay, keep that stuff out. The reason being, for an argument, you want your tone to be objective, neutral, forthright, and sober. You don't want to be jumping up and down saying, this is what I think, this is what I think. After all, you're writing the paper. It's presupposed that this is what you think. You are the writer of the paper, okay? So please avoid using first-person pronouns, okay? And if you absolutely find that whenever you use research, whatever it is, even if you're looking at a Wikipedia article and you use that information in a paper and you submit it, you absolutely must cite the source, okay, in MLA format in our case. How do you do that? Well, you use an in-text parenthetical citation, usually with the author's last name and the page number. If you need a refresher course on MLA, this is in there are examples in the SCC text, but you're also going to find it in our handbook, the handbook tab in Blackboard. The online writing lab of Purdue University, OWL, as it's called, has all things MLA, citation, style, how things appear on the page, etc., but you shouldn't be using any of that. The only reason I'm saying if you do is because sometimes students will find themselves referring to an article or Wikipedia, okay, and it's going to be obvious to me, by the way. If you cite some very specific number, like last year in Los Angeles, there were 300 sightings of hypodermic needles on the streets, okay? I'll say to you, how did you know 300? Surely you had to have researched that or referenced it from some outside source, okay? So you want to avoid using outside sources for this. It is based on your own intuitions, okay? Your own internal logic, okay? Your own sense of right and wrong. Speaking of logic and right and wrong, this is probably a good time to bring up the 3 Aristotelian rhetorical appeals that we most often use when we are making arguments, at least in a composition course. They are logos. What's a word we derive from the Greek word logos? Logic. This is having to do, especially next week when you do incorporate research, this is going to have to do with statistics, numbers, facts, and figures. For this, don't worry about the facts, figures, statistics, numbers. Rely on rationality and reason, okay? What makes sense? What seems sensible, okay? This is in the domain of logos, logic, okay? There's another appeal called ethos, E-T-H-O-S, and the derived word we could say is probably ethics, sense of right and wrong, or sense of shared values, character, authority. These all fall under the rubric of ethos, okay? So if I say Americans believe in the pursuit of happiness, life, and liberty, these are shared values that Americans have. That's going to fall under the rubric of ethos, okay? Values, sense of right and wrong, character, authority. The third is called pathos, okay? P-A-T-H-O-S. This is a Greek word from which we might derive the word sympathy, okay? Or empathy, or pathetic. This has to do with emotion, pulling on the heartstrings, the human element, as I like to call it, okay? If you are driving down I-75 and you see a dog on the side of the road and your wife, significant other, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever says, "Oh, look at the dog. on the side of the road. He's probably hungry. That is using pathos. This is using emotion to try to get you to take some action. And then if you want to retort to that person using emotion, pathos in that case, you might respond with a logical appeal. You might say, well, we cannot house another dog in our house. We already have 3 dogs. How are we going to be able to pay for more food, more vet bills, all the care and upkeep that comes with owning an animal? That is a logical appeal. The money isn't there, okay? It's not feasible. It's irrational to adopt another pet and take this pet into our home, okay? So you're using ethos, pathos, and logos in order to advance and support your thesis, okay? Your thesis, this case, should be black and white. It should be a position taken on a topic, okay? Not many people came to me last week with topic review. Very few, actually. So what happens will happen, I guess. You're still welcome to come to me with that this week, but, you know, your essays due this week. So it's going to be kind of tough to field a lot of, hey, is this topic okay, type of questions this week. You might, even though you're not submitting your essay, your research essay this week, that's going to be next week, it's going to be the same thing. This is basically just a trial run for your research paper, okay? You're writing a paper that is argumentative and persuasive without research. Next week, or actually in 2 weeks, when that paper comes due, you're then going to incorporate research into the essay you've already written, which is due this week, okay? To do that, to research, you still have a couple of weeks on this, so we're kind of looking ahead here. But to research, you're going to use the GNTC, Georgia Northwestern Technical College's library databases. The system that you use is something called Galileo, Galileo. That is accessed by going to the library page on the GNTC website. By clicking Galileo, you will then be able to select Browse by Subject, and you could pick your subject category there. There's things like science, technology, sociology, psychology, things like that. All of your topics probably fall underneath those general designations, I would imagine, okay, or criminology or something like that, okay. So, research in a couple of weeks, so not a bad idea to maybe look at some research within the next week and a half or so, but again, I want to reiterate, this week, Sunday, your no research required argumentative persuasive, where you are using the 3 appeals: logos, logic, ethos, ethics, pathos, emotion, all the while avoiding first person pronouns, okay? So what is going to be coming back to you guys this week grade wise, as it is the second week, so we're at the tail end of you having turned in your descriptives, so I need to get those back to you this week. I will start doing that, and I'm always going to be a little bit behind on grading the other assignments, like the journals and the SEC stuff, just because I have to stagger everything with all my other classes. But you guys are going to get your essays, your descriptive essays at least back this week, okay? So be on the lookout for that. Good luck on this paper. It's going to be the 3rd of the 4 papers you will write for 1101. The next paper, the final paper, is going to be what you're doing this week, your argumentative persuasive, but it's going to add in a research, an MLA research component, okay? So I wish you all the best of luck with this, the 3rd of your 4th essay due this week. Before I forget to, there is another blog opportunity on the Hazlitt and Swift readings, okay? So you have another blog opportunity that you could do to give yourself some bonus points on that MLA research paper that's going to be due in a couple of few weeks from now. So that's available too. So paper due by Sunday, and if you'd like to blog away again by Sunday. I'm going to sign off, everybody. Hope you guys have a great week. Come to me for any help. Mr. Churchwell is there as well. He and I do keep close in touch. So we're here for you if you need us. Talk to you again next week. Bye bye.